Alright, this has been a long time coming. I bought this thing last year and it has been in my storage unit for over a year now. And I got it for $200 at the time, and I bought some parts for it last year. I've just had sitting around, but we finally got to it. It's a John Deere LX277AWS, and the AWS stands for all-wheel steer. This thing had several big problems, and I'm going to go through the whole thing in the video. When I bought it, the blades stayed engaged constantly, whether the switch was on or off. Had a pretty big oil leak. It needed some belts. Hope you enjoyed today's video and watch till the end. That way you can vote for next week's project. I have to get this deck off first before I can get the clutch off, and I have to replace the drive belt anyways. So it's got two of these on each side. They're spring loaded. It should just pull right out. Should. Got one more on this side. Of course, you gotta try not to bend the thing. So now we can push this deck forward enough to get this off. And that'll just lift out. Okay, and I already took the belt off right there. To like your PTO, so there's no cable or anything to take off. So this should be ready to come out. I really had to jack it up and get it out the other way. Had to put the gate down so I could get it out. Good lord. You can tell the drive belt definitely needs to be replaced. I already have one. And then this needs to come off. I really hope it's not rusted to the crankshaft and it's something internally that seized and this just kind of falls off of here. That's my hope, but something tells me that's not how it's going to go. That's as far as I can tilt my phone, so I apologize. Hopefully it's in the picture. Parking brake is on. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to find some kind of puller to get that off. Right, well, I have this puller somewhat on there. It's a little crooked, but it's the only one I have, so looks like this is gonna break off in two pieces. I'm gonna put my head above the tractor and just watch my phone screen. That seems safer. Trying to keep it focused on the pulley for you, but it's very hard to keep it focused. Yep, there's the bottom half. The top half is still seized up there, so that sucks. Alright, well, I expect this to not work at all, but gotta try. Okay, so even though I'm turning the engine, it should still be tightening, so I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. Oh man, I can't believe that freaking worked. Gotta get a screwdriver to undo that because I couldn't undo it by hand. There's this tiny lip right here that I was able to keep these jaws on somehow by the grace of God, where it pulled it off. Wow. Okay, well, I forgot to hit play on that last part, but The drive belt pulley did come off, so now I can go ahead and take out the engine mounting bolts and disconnect the wires up here and get this engine out so we can reseal that case. Alright, 4 engine mounting bolts are off. Just need to get this exhaust shield off. Hopefully we can just lift it up out of there without having to take it off. It looks like we might be able to lift it right out of there. Let's loosen those choke cables as well. We got this connector. Looks like there's a ground strap on there also. And I have not drained the oil yet, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Alright, let's get this thing off of here. A subscriber sent me this and wanted me to use it on the channel. So we're gonna get this thing off of here. I also had to take off the governor. It was on this bottom piece here and I couldn't lift it up without taking that off, so we're gonna have to reset the governor when we get it back together. Everything in here looks great. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape all this gasket off and get the right stuff on it. I'm not gonna bore you and make you watch me. So cameraman, fast forward please. Oh wait, that's me. Okay, video editor, fast forward all this please. Wait, that's also me. Okay, we're all good there. I'm gonna get these surfaces cleaned off. And I'll go ahead and put a bead of the right stuff. I paid up for the 90-minute because I'm kind of on a time crunch. And I shouldn't have because I thought it was $2 more. Turns out it was $6 more. So, oh well, 90-minute versus 24 hours, I'll take it. Alright, going back on. Alright, that is on. It's finger tight for an hour. Then I'll come back and torque it down. In the meantime, we're going to turn our attention to the drive belt. Alright, well I went ahead and got the drive belt on. It's getting dark, so I went ahead and did it without filming. I am hoping it's the correct length. We will see. It wasn't that bad to replace. I just had to take the spring off of here and then take this lever off the transaxle for the brake. That way I could fit the belt over top of it. So now we're going to drop the engine down in here after I clean off the crank. I'm going to attempt to get some of the rust off of here. God forbid I have to take this thing back out. We're rust free now. It's a little too dark to do anything else. Get back on it tomorrow. Alright, so that belt I had, it was supposed to be the right one. It was not. It's too short. So the best way to measure the old belt is to cut it and then measure the whole thing. Alright, so I'm making sure it is straight. I'm going to run my tape measure alongside of it and see how long it measures. So that is measuring 90.5. Alright, so this belt is the wrong size. I have to take it back off. I just have to remove this pulley here. And then, real easy from there, I just have the spring disconnected from this rod. And then the brake rod here has to come up, which I think I have to do on the other side. Yeah, I kind of have to pull in on this and lift it up at the same time, so I'll have to do that on the other side. Alright then, that is off of there, so now we can take it off of these pulleys and then lift it up over that fan, kind of tough to do. Definitely tough to get on camera. But you can get it over top of the fan without having to remove anything else. On the AWS model anyways. Just takes a minute. So we got it off from over the fan. That little, well, it's not little, that black bar right there does kind of push up. So you can just squeeze it under there. And then it has to come out from this brake rod. So I got the new belt here. As you can see, the identification plate was off when I got it, so I couldn't look up the exact model number. So I had a really difficult time trying to find the right belt. The old one was about 3 inches too short, so hopefully this one works no problem. I need both hands to do this, unfortunately, so. Alright, now we just gotta get the front pulley on. Alright, so we got the new clutch here going on. Hopefully it's the right one because I've had it for over a year. And then we got a new wiring harness for it. So let's go ahead and get that on. Now I did lightly grease the crankshaft just in case I have to pull this back off for some reason. Hopefully not. I need to clean up the threads just a little bit because when I used the puller to get it off, it kind of boogered up those threads right there. So I'm just going to clean them up a bit because the bolt would not screw into it, and I don't want to mess up this crankshaft. So I think this is the best option. The part that holds this on my tap handle is stripped, so a 1/4 inch open-end wrench will do the job just fine. And I think we are good. Already ran this up a few times, so let's see. Get all that out. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. So that is in there. Just gotta hook up the connector, and then we can start to get this deck back on. Carb is back in. I took it off and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, so hopefully that's good. And there's a bunch of old gas in here, so I think the easiest way to do it would be to take off the body and then take the gas tank out, get all that drained out with fresh gas in it. And I believe it's just a couple of bolts, one here on each side and then one here on each side. And then those pedals, of course, have to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and undo all those and see if we can't let this body off of here. Alright, so I got all the nuts and bolts out. So I should be able to lift this up. As soon as I walk, I feel like this camera's going to fall over. But here's the gas tank. Just need to take that line off. This is a separate tank for the transmission fluid. So I am going to check that. Looks like it's almost down to the add line, so I'll probably have to add some more there. So I'm going to get this line off. I guess I have to hold the camera because this brand new tripod is a piece of literal garbage. But there's our gas tank. Alright, gas tank going back in. Got it all emptied out. Very easy. And then this just slides in there like that. Just like that. Now I can lower the body back down on top of it after I get the fuel line back in. So what I had to do on this side, this is where the drive pedals are. You can see this was also attached here, and then I couldn't just twist those arms out of here. I had to take them off. They go on right here. I put marks on here so I knew exactly where they went, which direction I mean, because they're square. So the cap kind of goes over like that, and then the pedal over the bottom. So I'm gonna get all that hooked back up. There's still gas in the lines. I don't want getting in the freshly cleaned carburetors, so I'm gonna turn over the engine and let it all pump out. Got all of it. Alright, so we got corn-free gas in now. Turn this back over till it's shooting out. Put our line back on and hope for the best. Alright, so I have the jump back on. I'm gonna make sure that it starts up. Sharpen up these blades. Oh boy. No way. The others came off just fine. This one is not, though. I broke my adapter on my 1/2 inch. So let's try it this way. That middle blade came off is bent, so I have a new set on its way tomorrow. Already got the other side in. This is the side that gave me the most trouble. So I think I'm gonna have to put the camera down to get this. I got it back in there. The front is in. So this deck is back on. I need to get this deck belt back up to the new PTO. Just gonna go on this back pulley first. Nope, not that one. Yep, that one. Okay, so what I have to do is loosen this bar. It won't stay back by itself. So I'm gonna have to hold it back. So I pushed all the way back. That pulley is forward. Now I can slip this around. Alright, so we got it on the front, on the back, that comes forward, and that will tighten it up. Perfect. And yes, with the new blades, I have a new belt coming for this. Gonna check movement. Goes up and down, perfect. Gonna get some new plugs going in. Anyways, that's why I hate the new tripod. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and get all the engine covering back on, and like I said, I took all this off a year ago, so I'm hoping I still have all the correct bolts and get it all back on properly. We will see. I'm thinking I lost the screws to this. These are the last two screws I have, and they are different sizes. So I'm gonna have to find some laying around. Alright, I managed to find 3 of them in my bucket of parts. New air filter will also be here tomorrow. I'll just put this back on in the meantime. And now our hood's going back on. Battery going back in. I'm not going to tighten it down yet because I still may have to replace it. And speaking of the hood, by the way, I don't know if you realize how hard it is to find one of these hoods that isn't completely smashed and broken. And this doesn't have any cracks in it. So that is pretty crazy in itself. Even the grill in really good condition. That's a little messed up, but we'll just hide that. Taking the time to clean this up a little. I'm going to go ahead and take some pictures of it, even though it won't be ready until tomorrow because of those blades and the belt that's coming. It's missing the cruise control lever, but I'm not worried about that. I don't think I've known anyone to use cruise control on a mower. No, honestly, I have no idea what to list this thing for. It's kind of a, I would say, collector's mower. It's got the Kawasaki engine on it. I won't charge them for that dirt. There's one of these listed close to me a while ago. I think they had theirs up for $3,600. It was also all-wheel steer. Obviously, I'm not going to list this for that. There was a guy looking for one last year close to me, and he had an ad up for $2,500 that he was looking to pay, so that would be nice. I paid $200 for it last year. I'd have to go back and look at how much I spent on the clutch. I want to say $80 or $100. And then of course we have the drive belt and the deck belt and the blades and the tune-up parts. So I'll do a total here. But yeah, let me know what you would list this for, what you think I'll have no problem selling this for, because I'd like to get rid of it quick before the end of the season. This thing needed quite a bit of work, which I knew when I bought it, but I just kept pushing it to the side and getting easier stuff out last year. But I finally put the time into it, got it all running. It's 100% now. Let me know in the comments, would you rather see next week this snowblower plus another one I got for free, or would you rather see an engine swap on a Craftsman riding mower? Let me know.